The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a Tuesday edition of Talking Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. From the Star in Frisco in the SWBC studios. We are live, as always. We've got the whole cast and crew ready for you to rock today with Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Youmans with Chris Beam in the back.
That's right.
Glad you're with us, everyone.
Hi.
The 2025 season is officially over.
It's
Yes.
Or 24 season.
over. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Everybody.
Hopefully
Hopefully
move on.
25
It
is
is
over.
done.
Hopefully 25 is not over.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, 24 is over.
25 is just getting started.
Everybody's 0-0 and fire Nico. Okay, continue.
Wow. Okay, so we're starting. Were we even on the air?
That was above Nico.
This is the first time that we've talked about it since that happened.
No, I alluded to it last time, and I said we.
Yeah, last week we talked. We kind of briefly
We're
touched
fine.
to it.
Let's
You didn't want to talk about it, understandably.
I still don't want to talk
just,
about it.
he's escorting 12-year-olds out.
Especially after last night when you lose on a buzzer beater to DeMar DeRozan and the not the Raptors. He used to play on the Raptors, but the Kings, and then there's a guy that played in LA. So. Anyways, also another thing I don't want to talk about, but we certainly do have to talk about.
What's that, Kyle?
No, we don't.
We do.
We kind of do.
We don't.
Super Bowl 59.
Oh, that happened?
Oh,
Something happened.
that's cool.
The Eagles,
Yeah.
they won.
Something happened.
They won it.
Yeah.
Philadelphia wins. Congratulations, 40-22.
Yeah.
Congrats.
They got
City
it
didn't
done.
even put
Are
up
you
a
surprised?
fight, man.
I was surprised in the manner in which it happened.
Okay.
I was not surprised that they won.
At the result. Okay.
They entered with the best team.
They had the best team all
The
year.
best team, best roster, best makeup. I mean, all of it. And they had the motivation, too. You could tell. Like, it was
Not all year.
Best roster?
Not all year. You said the best team all year.
They had the best roster
Oh,
all
best
year.
roster, yeah.
in terms of roster construction, I would
They had the best offensive
would
line
say-
and defensive line.
Yeah.
No, the reason I say that is because I heard you say team.
Got you. No,
And
no.
I was going to say, well, no, that would have been Detroit.
Yeah,
For a
no.
good portion.
For a little bit.
Roster-wise, nobody argued that Philly had the best roster.
Even
That's
when
why
we were going into the penultimate week of the regular season,
Yeah.
it was Dallas and Philadelphia. We were looking at it and saying, oh, look, they're the number one offense and they're the number one rated defense. That's pretty good.
They got dudes, man. I mean,
Pretty darn good.
We've always given credit to how aggressive. I mean, even though we're Cowboys, right?
Yeah, even though we don't like
Even though we don't like them, we still have to acknowledge the fact that they do a doggone good job at acquiring talent.
That's what's frustrating about it.
Respect.
It is what's frustrating, especially when you look at the comparisons in terms of the spin numbers side by side.
If you're looking at just the team, excellent team. Excellent team. Fan base, I'm not talking about. You know what I mean? Like the city, the food,
I like a cheesesteak every now and again.
just
That's it.
That's pretty much it.
just drill into the ground and make it not a part of America. You know?
Facts.
Take it and move it somewhere else.
Move it somewhere else.
But no, I mean, objectively, like we're all saying, objectively speaking, you have to give Howie Roseman
flowers.
credit for how he constructed that roster and how willing he is to be aggressive in things like free agency. Now, it's also true they mostly don't draft well unless they're drafting Georgia talent.
Well,
Like this-
Jean and Quinion Mitchell weren't from Georgia. And they played.
Fair,
You're
but
absolutely correct. but listen. This whole narrative of drafting
Jesus.
and developing, this has to stop. Like the conversation has to stop.
Just don't draft anymore.
I'm personally tired of hearing about it.
You're saying the
emphasis,
sole
the emphasis,
conversation.
the emphasis on your guys having to pan out. I'm tired of that conversation.
Yeah.
And I know that's been the way. That's
Liking
been
your guys.
you like and that's true, right? You draft your guys, you like your guys, you develop your guys, but it's all guys don't develop. You know what I'm saying? Like
Plain and simple.
there are
all
also
guys don't
other
develop.
guys that can be liked.
And very much so. So like this whole thing where I'm so locked in and I'm so keen on my guys that I'm willing to just disregard and close my eyes to everybody. Like screw that.
You're trying
screw
to
that,
win
like-
with one hand tied behind your
Yeah,
back.
like
if you're not addressing free agents.
Philadelphia has been to the Super Bowl how many times in the last 5-6 years?
3.
3. Screw
Going back to
the
2017.
develop portion of it. Build your team. You hope.
Throw money at the
You hope. No, listen. You hope that you're able to do it through the draft.
I'm being serious.
Like you hope because that's the most financially feasible way, right? That's the cleanest way to do it. However, if that is not working, get your butt in position roster-wise to compete.
Yeah.
So
if the holes are there, don't ignore the holes.
like that's why I have such a high regard for Howie Roseman because he says, screw it, I'm supposed to do. My job is to put these guys in position. And I think that the management here has done a good job of building talent.
Yeah.
Right. But the one element that they've been resistant to is going outside of their comfort zone and going outside the Cowboys bubble and bringing guys in consistently to plug those gaps. Right. Because they're like, oh, we got to worry about the cap. Oh, we got to worry. Screw it.
You know,
Screw it. You know what we said this a couple years ago, right? The Rams said what? Screw it. We'll deal with it later. What did they walk away with?
Picks.
Super Bowl. They walked away to Super Bowl, and then they walked away with what? They walked away with some playoff runs this year too.
Yeah, they went back to the playoffs.
They went back to the playoffs with a roster that is nowhere near filled out, but guys have developed, right? And they grabbed it with a couple of pieces that they built through the draft. That's awesome, right?
And it's not only the draft.
It's not only the draft. Thank you very much. So, like, sometimes you got to look at if you do what you have always done, you'll get what you always gotten. And I feel, I don't know, this is just a feeling thing, Kyle. When you hear Stephen Jones speak, because I think there's this weird dichotomy, right? I think that Mr. Jones, right, Jerry Jones is the one who still speaks on behalf of the brand,
the
right?
Figurehead.
He's the figure, right? He is the Dallas Cowboys, right? So he's gonna speak and he's gonna make it sound pretty, and I'm gonna talk around it, and enough stuff to to tantalize the taste buds. And then when Steven gets on the mic, Steven's like, "Look, this is what it is," right? And it's just these two personalities that you really see in present whenever those guys present. And I think when you hear, not to say that you don't get the real from Mr. Jones, but I feel like when Steven gets the mic, Steven he seems like a very black and white guy. Like he got the mic, he was like, Dak was very much so a part of this decision. That's why we went with Shotty. This is exactly what we're doing. We're gonna have to make some changes in terms of how we go about saying acquiring guys. Like, I feel as if you're starting to. I think the message is starting to get clearer.
Message.
So let me add on to this, because when we talked to him in Mobile, it was me, Tommy, Nick Harris, and one other reporter that were in the building, and it was just us four in a back hallway of South Alabama's press box. Weirdest spot you could possibly have. Yeah. I thought he was very real with us. And if you haven't watched the interview, go watch it.
DallasCowboys.com.
It's on the YouTube channel. It's on DallasCowboys.com. Go watch it. But he talked to us a little bit before that, about 2 minutes before that, and about 4 or 5 minutes after that. And I think you're right. In the past, I would say he's just as good at not addressing the elephant in the room as his father, as Jerry.
Correct.
And that's been a part of them being businessmen all the way through. I think the message has been heard and the frustration has been reached.
Yep.
They aren't happy.
Yep.
And that was the sense that I've got. I've been around Stephen Jones since 2019 and even beyond, because I did some stuff with Highland Park football when John Stephen Jones was doing stuff. So I've known Stephen since 2017. And the more I've talked with him, the more I've seen, okay, he knows how to handle the media. He knows how to handle his words and knows how to craft them in a certain way to send a message. I thought the message he sent to us at South Alabama during the Senior Bowl was it should change. He didn't say it's going to change, but he's saying it should change, because what we've been doing, and this is a direct quote from him, maybe paraphrased a little bit, but what we've been doing has not been working. So something has to change, and that's the first time I've heard them say that.
Something's got to give.
First time, period. So I'll believe it when I see it, because I've been around this organization for long enough too to see a lot of words don't necessarily mean anything. That time I got a sense that it did.
Yeah.
I think it did. I think it did mean anything.
Well, you finally got the word from the right person.
That's true.
I think that's a part of it too. If the narrative is changing, at least it's starting there. And then now you're seeing this coaching staff, how it's been put together.
Coaching staff is tremendous.
You really
I'm
have
really
to
happy.
have like. There's a lot of silver lining that, of course, it's bittersweet now because the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. Like it's not
But
going to.
I think it serves. I think it serves the maximum lesson for the Cowboys. Look how the season is bookended. It began with one of the most inactive free agencies I've seen.
Well, before that, in the same press box, Jerry said all in. And so there's the frustration.
All in, and then the antithesis of that, as defined by most of civilization, occurred. And then you go through the season, fast forward through everything that happened, the depth issues and the production issues in the first half and scheme issues, whatever, and injuries. And now you go to the playoffs, and who wins it? But your direct rival, who is the polar opposite of you in free agency, the polar opposite. So that serves the maximum lesson, because I think that if the Chiefs did win, and I was rooting for the Chiefs to win. Let's be clear, I did not want the Eagles to get another. My petty is my petty.
Same.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Now, but now that
we've been very clear on
100%. We want. I want
just
nothing
do not want
good
Philly.
for
Some of us have
Philadelphia.
allegiance to the team that we.
I want nothing, whether it be Cowboys, my Braves. I want nothing good for the Philadelphia fan base.
Gotcha.
Nothing. That being said, they did win the Super Bowl, so
Now you go take it from them.
So what you can do is now use that as a lesson for the guys.
How do you respond?
Hey, this is how it goes. And I love what you guys are saying about the Stephen Jones versus Jerry Jones dynamic. I was having this conversation with Tommy this time yesterday morning, and I said Jerry is the salesman.
Yep.
Whether you like what he's selling or not, he's selling you something. Stephen is more print on paper.
Steven's the finance guy sitting at the desk.
Stephen is more print on paper. Stephen is less the salesman and more so, well, this is where we are. So when you start to hear Stephen change his tone, which is what I'm hearing.
It's definitely a tone change,
I cannot stress this enough. Kyle and I, we were all the same. Show me, show me, show me. That being said, I like what I'm hearing from Stephen, because these are things we haven't heard before. The press conference with Schottenheimer, when you hear Stephen Jones say, the question I posed to him was, what could you take from a team like the Eagles in free agency and their approach that can help the Cowboys going forward? This is Stephen Jones. He said, I think you certainly look at that. He said, I think you look at your competitors and your conference, what's going to take to have success, whether it's the 49ers or the Eagles. You ask yourself, what does it take to beat the 49ers? What does it take to beat the Rams? These are comments that change the narrative of what we know from Stephen Jones. Yes, he is the we like our guys guy. He's that guy.
Yes,
we know.
It's a pie.
But we're hearing less of that this offseason and more of what Kyle is saying. The conversations he's having in the back room of the press box, saying something's got to change.
Yeah.
So, and again, we waiting to see it, and hopefully we see it. But I will say, from a coaching staff standpoint, which is the first and foremost thing, they're knocking that out the park.
And this might be the title of the episode, but actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
That's too long of it. Maybe just actions speak louder.
I mean, he's like, this might be it too long.
Comma.
Actions speak louder than words.
Action.
And we've seen a little bit of action. The slight action we've seen has been the hire of Brian Schottenheimer, which, say what you may,
Show me.
a lot of people haven't liked it. A lot of people do like it. We'll see at the end of the day.
And then?
But the staff behind Schottenheimer has looked tremendous.
It's what you
put it
can
together.
do at this point is being done.
Yes.
What you can do. The things that you can change are being changed. Granted, you didn't have coaches in place after.
You could still go sign Micah. That would be another thing that you can do.
He's putting a lot of the thing that I like, and I probably can hit this in news and notes. I would imagine that we need to address.
We are going to go to coaching in the next segment.
Everything.
But okay, so I'll just say this without getting into the weeds. I feel as if Schottenheimer is putting guys in position to do what they do best.
Yeah.
He's not asking coaches to go outside of their realm.
Correct.
Right? He is saying, what are you an expert at? Bring that here.
Yeah.
So
I want to go a little deeper into that because I completely agree with you. Going back to the conversation that you were just having, and we're talking about the Eagles and how they built to get there, it is a combination of both. There is draft and development.
Oh, for sure.
But there's also the signing. I looked up.
Had two rookies show up in a major way.
No doubt about it. DeJean and
Eric Hunt.
yeah, absolutely. So on the opposite side of things, here's how they've changed their starting lineup from Super Bowl 57 to Super Bowl 59. When they were there the first time and they lost, they had 9 different starters this time around on the defensive side of the football. Which would you agree that the defense is what won that game for them?
Oh my God!
Oh,
Absolutely.
The defensive
7
line
sacks.
is what won.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
So 2 years ago
alone.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
They
Without
had
blitzing.
9 different starters from their group that went to the Super Bowl the first time around. So there's that element to it. They drafted Jalen Carter, drafted Jordan Davis, drafted Nolan Smith. Got it, right? All 3 of those guys are dogs. They were in the right place at the right time. Nolan Smith was a guy that had injury concerns. They said, screw the injury concerns. We're going to draft a dude.
And one of their main contributors to that defense is on IR in the Kobe Dean.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He was drafted as well.
Yeah. Now, they also drafted Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, who we talked about as rookies. They got the right contribution from 2 very important rookies and 2 very good rookies.
And they addressed a need that they had last year.
Correct.
Because the secondary was not what it was last
they
year.
had-
And they tried. They traded for somebody last year. I don't even remember who it was. But that didn't work out. It didn't get them over the hump.
brought
So
Gardner
then
Johnson
into
back.
the offseason, they said, okay, well, let's draft the best available players in the secondary of the position of need.
Well, that's the thing.
Ouch.
They grabbed CJ.
hurts.
They grabbed CJ Gardner Johnson. They signed him. They signed what's his name? Is it Oren Burks? What's his name? Who started the Oren Burks, the linebacker, signed him from San Francisco. He started as well. Zach Bond, they signed him. Bond wasn't even a highly vaulted free agent, but he worked out.
Yep.
So even you've got the draft and develop, you've got the sign and develop.
Finished
too.
the top 10 in defensive
He's an
MVP
all-pro
rankings.
Yeah, he was an all-pro, and he had an incredible
He just
year.
got the bag.
So yeah,
They got a number of guys that just got the bag. Milton just got the bag with 2 sacks.
Williams. Oh yeah.
The bottom line is you build both ways.
Yeah.
You have to find a way to balance that scale. And so this is why I've said time and time again and again, they're going to sell what they're going to sell. I don't begrudge them whatever they're trying to sell. It doesn't mean I have to buy it. So when you're talking about salary cap management and things like that, and we'll get into this, later in the show and as the offseason rolls along, but we're talking free agency. We're talking about being willing to spend. You can't sell me on, the money's not there. It will be there, and it can be there. You can free up $75 million just by 3 triggers being pulled. You could pull out another 85, 90 million. I mean, it can happen. So what
Just
you
gotta
need
handle
to
your
do,
business.
You've done stage 1 as we have this conversation.
Can't play with scared money?
Yeah, no, you can't. We've done stage 1. The Cowboys have. This coaching staff looks sensational. It looks sensational. Now, what you need to do is get the personnel on the field for these coaches to be able to cook. And that doesn't mean waiting until the NFL draft. That doesn't mean leaning so heavily on Will McClay and his scouting department that you're completely overlooking holes that can be filled, by talented free agents, even if you don't want to overpay in wave 1. Wave 2 still has some substantial talent from outside the building. So, yes, try to keep your Osas and your Jordans, but go and get some of these other guys that are falling off of some of these other rosters.
Mr. Jones's reply to that, I would imagine, is that we have 2 guys currently at the top 3 of their positions in terms of salaries, and we're about to have a third.
Congratulations. That third that you're about to have, and this is why
And there's only so many pieces of the pie. There's only so many pieces of the pie.
I don't want to hear about no pie. I don't want to hear about the pie. You know why? It's only pie.
Not
as about the pie. Okay. Listen, at the end of the day, this is also a great lesson, and hopefully they've learned it as far as extending players' contracts early and not late. If you extend Micah Parsons' contract this year, you can free up almost $18 million towards the cap for this year's offseason
This year alone.
Okay? If you wait until next season when his contract is expiring, it becomes a massive hit to extend the contract. These are the games that are being played very well by teams like the Eagles, the 49ers, the Rams. So when you are ready to do an extension, don't wait. Don't.
So what happens when people say, what about kicking the can?
You played that game with Dak Prescott, and you saw what happened.
Kick it, steel toe.
Kick it. Listen, man. Brandon Aubrey that can. All the way down. The bill is going to come due. Okay, when?
Has it hit?
And why,
When the salary cap gets bigger?
it increases 10 to 15%.
It's not going to go up that much.
No, it's not going
No,
to see the
but
explosive
in
growth.
5 years, in 10 years?
So the Cowboys,
The fact is
what you're
it
saying
will
is the
keep
Cowboys are
saying.
always protecting themselves for what hasn't happened.
Correct.
And what wouldn't happen for a long time to come. And then by the time it happens, you can finesse it another way because there are new options.
So that's
for finessing it.
So when we say don't play with scared money, I know Mr. Jones' reply is going to be, well, Dak's the highest paid, CD's the second highest paid, Mike is about to be the highest paid. So we're not playing with scared money. We're spending money. And I know that's going to be the reply, but on the other end of that, you also have to say, well, in terms of this protecting the salary cap thing, you've never been in salary cap hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? You never had your back all the way up against the wall where you couldn't sign guys or you couldn't manipulate guys' contract. It hasn't happened, right? So to say that this is the reason why we don't go out and acquire guys, you never faced that lashing before, right? So, like, what are you protecting?
You're
right?
preparing for an inevitability that you haven't faced.
Exactly, right? So Philadelphia, on the other hand, says, all right, Brandon Aubrey, keep kicking this thing all the way down the road. And everybody says what? Oh, it's going to hit him. Oh, it's going to be so bad. That's always a reply by people. Oh, it's going to be so bad. They're going to be in a situation that they can't. 3 Super Bowl appearances.
You know why? Because it's a
3.
It's not a static situation.
In a decade.
It's fluid. Yeah. The salary cap situation is fluid. So you're preparing for this inevitability, the supposed inevitability. Let's say based on how the numbers and everything look in 2025, that if you handle things a certain way, then the sky's going to start falling in 2029. Let's say that's the logical argument. Well, the problem with that argument, the flaw in that argument and that logic is that by the time 2028, 2029 rolls around, there are going to be different variables that have changed that allow you to manipulate it, to push that inevitability down the road another 4 or 5 years. This is what the Rams do. This is what the Eagles do. This is what the 49ers do. And I want the Cowboys to start doing it. Stop being afraid of an inevitability that by the time it arrives, it will no longer be an inevitability.
And what do those teams often do?
Free agency.
And they kind of get deep into the playoffs.
Well, hold on. But talk about the Rams. I know we got to go to break. The Rams. Okay, the Rams we're in the worst situation that you would ever imagine.
And still reloading.
Right? They were in the worst situation.
Outside of the Saints right now, yes.
Okay, the Saints are terrible, right? But I'm talking about the Rams just said the heck with it. They went out and got everybody, right? The Rams went out and acquired everybody. They said the heck with the salary cap thing. We know next year is going to be trash. We're going all in. Chips all in. And what happened? They walked away with the dog on Lombardi, right? The next year, what happened? Pew! They lost all their guys. And then the best player in football says, you know what? I'm going to shut it down. Mm-hmm. They lost the best player in football in his 30s, early 30s. Shut it down. They had, one down year? They're right back.
And you know why?
Right back. Went to the second round.
I'm going to pull a Kyle on this. You know why? And this is the difference between the Rams and a team like the Saints, for example. The coaching.
Yeah.
The level of coaching that you have and the culture that you have can help you bounce back from that very quickly.
Yes, sir.
Or when you do hit that wall, you get stuck in that pit.
Because your coaching allows guys like Puka Nakua to become one of the best wide receivers in football.
Ours, baby.
And gives you the option to trade one of your other great wide receivers in football this offseason and not have a problem with
And this was my cow because it brings us back to the Cowboys coaching staff.
You're darn right. Going to the Cowboys coaching staff, let's talk about it. What they have been able to control so far, they've controlled it to a high degree. We're going to talk about each of the hires. We're going to run down what the Cowboys coaching staff looks like when we come back with more Talkin Cowboys. If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this portion of the show, you know it, you love it. It's brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since
1945.
now
77.
77.
Yeah, one job.
Since the Revolutionary War.
Nope. Also incorrect.
That didn't happen.
Also not accurate.
Wrong. Yeah.
Sick.
It was the fall of
We love the year 77
Babylon.
Dallas.
We do.
Oh, not the 77.
Yeah, we love the 77.
Dang it.
Well, he only had 14.
What can you do?
the Quaker code in the left-hand corner to buy your oats on the internet.
It's not next to me, I guess, right? So
Buy
I
it on
gotta
Sunday,
put
Sunday, Sunday.
No, where
Is
is
it
it
down here
Is
somewhere?
that? Yeah, I'm all turned around.
Yeah,
Still in the
all the way on
left
the back.
corner.
Yeah.
We can't see it.
I'm all turned around.
we don't have that ability to see it. What we have seen is the Cowboys coaching staff.
Oh, let's go. Look at it.
Ooh.
Pretty good list.
Pretty darn good.
Pretty good.
We talked a little bit about the coordinators last week. You've got Clayton Adams on the offensive side of the ball coming over from Arizona where he had some
Not calling
success.
plays, though.
Not calling plays, but I think that's okay. I'm okay.
That's all right.
Based on who's around him, I think that's okay.
The veteran and former head coach of the Chicago Bears, former linebackers coach on Jason Garrett's staff, before he went to go be the DC with the Indianapolis Colts, Matt Eberflus.
I saw him at dinner last week.
Flus, did you say hi?
I did. Gave him one of those Batman nods. Sir?
I see you.
Gentlemen?
It's a Dark Knight reference.
Very nice.
Right? You saw that. You know what I'm
Dark
talking
Knight
about. There you go.
The martini glass. Nick Sorensen is the special teams coordinator. He comes over as
Funny Branca, actually.
okay.
That was the drink.
Oh, was it? Sorry. The special teams coordinator after being the defensive coordinator with the San Francisco 49ers. Last time he was a special teams coordinator was in 2021 with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars. So other than that, Patrick, I want you to run down the offensive staff. What do we have that is official so far?
Official so far. So we know Clayton Adams is in the books.
Yep.
And we know that Derek Foster, Lunda Wells, Connor Riley. We'll get to that because I could not love that pick.
That's a great one.
Those are definitely in the books. What's being finalized is quarterbacks coach Steve Shimko, who has he was in the building last year, but he also has a pre-existing relationship with Schottenheimer from their time together with the Seattle Seahawks. Junior Adams, wide receivers coach, he is going to take that role and be advising Taekwon Underwood, who joined officially the coaching staff last week as assistant wide receivers coach. So
Mr. Flat Top.
Yep, Mr. Flat Top. Kid, if you will. Kid in play. Ain't gonna let nobody. So those guys are who being finalized, along with offensive passing game coordinator Ken Dorsey, former coordinator and coach of the Cleveland Browns. Previously a quarterbacks coach, a longtime quarterbacks coach, Ken Dorsey is, and he's expected to join the organization any day now. I think they're working out the finality of his contract. So excellent. Once those deals come to fruition and it's a lot of firepower. It's a
lot of wisdom.
It's a lot of fire. You know what's beautiful about it, though?
What's beautiful?
And we'll talk about the defensive side, but when you look at the totality of Schottenheimer's staff,
good word.
It's a perfect mix of experience, NFL experience, and young-mindedness. So you got guys who are coming over, like the Oregon guy.
Well, okay. Speaking of the Oregon guy, he's also
talk about
former
Junior Adams.
Yeah, Junior Adams.
Washington guy.
I wanted to say the Oregon guy because of what their offense looked like last year.
Well,
Junior Adams, eh?
if it's a UW guy, you know it's good.
Okay, so I did a little research on Mr. Adams. He's a California cat. Played at Oregon State, played at Montana State, was a wide receiver, and he's been in the college career all the way throughout. You want to know the best wide receiver he's coached at a high level? Ooh. Would you like to play a little game here?
Let's go. You said the best
wide receiver that's had NFL success by this point.
Was he at Washington or Oregon?
I'm not going to tell you because it would give it away. So I'll give you the names of the schools that he's been at. You want to go by that?
Yeah.
So Oregon from 22 to 24.
I see what you're.
Washington 2019 to 21.
I see what you did here.
Western Kentucky 2017 2018. Boise State 2014 to 2016.
Say the one before that.
Eastern Washington 2009 to 2013.
What'd you say?
And then Eastern Washington.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you know who he coached at Eastern Washington?
Let me see here. Does he?
He goes by the name of.
I wish I had a cup right here.
Here's a cup right here.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thanks for the cup.
That's a Cooper Cup.
That's a Cooper Cup.
But he did. He coached Cooper Cup
Use
during his time
guys.
at Eastern Washington. So
Interesting.
just to keep in mind, he did so for 2 seasons, 22 or 12 and 13 before, of course, Cooper Cup was a 3rd-round pick.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, these
We
young-
can't talk about trades here, but
I didn't say anything about a trade. I said a chance.
But they did coach.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. I didn't
What's in
reference
that cup?
anybody. Cooper Cup.
Anyways,
I love the
Deja Blue.
young-mindedness. I mean, these are guys bringing fresh ideas from the collegiate level.
well, and we talked about this last
Connor
week,
Riley
too.
being another one, bringing fresh ideas from a collegiate level.
Before we get to Connor Riley, Isaiah brought this up last week. When you see a fan base upset that you lose a certain coach, which Clayton Adams was, Arizona was
Assistant.
upset.
An assistant.
Yeah, an assistant.
yeah.
Not a coordinator. Assistant.
Going and getting
Come on,
a guy like Junior Adams, Junior Adams, Oregon is beside themselves. They are not happy. Oregon Ducks are upset.
Connor Riley too. And who did Connor Riley coach?
Cooper BB, and there's another guy.
There's another guy from Kansas State.
Not Thrice. Deuce.
Dude.
Oh, interesting.
Connor Riley coming over from Kansas State. First of all,
Nick
It's
Eatman is
not
clutching his pearl.
first of all,
It's like, stop it.
to Kyle's point, when you see a fan base that is losing a coach get up in arms about losing the coach, you know you got something good. And Kansas State, they were very disappointed in losing Connor Riley because they know what they're losing.
Kansas State, Kansas hates.
How many universities did we make angry so far?
Kansas State,
Oregon.
Gotcha.
I think
And Arizona? And
that's the Cardinals.
I mean,
Cardinals
yeah.
too, though.
But we made them angry, though, right?
You did.
Three
Jets,
organizations.
you pissed off the Jets.
Because now colleges are
On
organizations.
the
so-
defensive standpoint, you pissed off the Jets.
I like
White
pissing
Sox.
off the Jets.
Yeah, so we made the Jets angry. We made the Cardinals angry.
made
We made
Oregon.
Kansas State angry, and we made. I love the Oregon. Right time to make them Ducks angry. I'm mad. I'm with it, buddy.
And this is how we feel about the Eagles. Now you understand.
I get it,
You
buddy.
hate green teams.
I get it, but they're in
Except
division,
for
so
the
now we
North
get to take
Texas
things
meet.
from them. I'm with that.
Well, even
go ahead.
better,
If we can't win it, go ahead and win it, so we can take it from you.
Listen, as far as taking things from guys, I mean, I know we're talking offense, but even on the other on the third side of the ball, which is special teams, you get Nick Sorensen, so you get some of that Kyle Shanahan tree.
Love it.
Football IQ, intel.
At least it's in the building.
Can you
It's in
imagine?
the building.
It's here.
He gets to tell
I know he's
you
a
what
special
they-
teams
I
coordinator,
don't
but he
care.
can have some impact elsewhere.
I
his
hope he
intel
pull a
is
few
priceless.
playbooks on the way out.
I am
you know what I'm saying?
I'm
His
interested
intel
to
is
know
priceless.
how these offensive, as they instill and create this new offense, right? Because now you're in a shoddy offense, right? It's not the McCarthy offense. It's the shoddy
Texas
offense,
Coast,
right? So
no more.
there's going to be elements that are going to be consistent, but there's going to be a lot of new.
Can we call it the shotgun?
Oh my God!
Goodness, I see what you did there.
Dear God!
I like it. You might want to
Right here, bro.
Shotgun right
Just
now.
leave him. Leave him hanging.
Shotgun.
Leave him hanging.
Oh, sorry. Lazy eye side,
I'll
dog.
go hop on the state website right now and go ahead and secure that.
You're
Just say cost you about $100. I would love to see the meeting of minds as they create this offense. Because there's so many expertise and there's so many different schemes that all have to collectively come together and agree. Now, there's obviously one voice that has a lot more weight than others, but he is bringing in these guys to absorb and implement their wisdom and their expertise. So I would love to see how all these different schemes, philosophies, approaches come together to create this new playbook. Like, I'm excited about that.
But here's one thing, and this is intriguing me. I don't have the answer. I'm just throwing it out there. But what is it about Shoddy's offense? What is he pitching to these coaches from other organizations, other college teams, that they're buying in and saying, looking at what the Cowboys did last season with their offense specifically, and saying, yeah, I want to work for them next year.
You know what? Ooh, I just thought of something.
Come on with it.
We just finished talking about the Joneses. And we just started talking about the Joneses and their approach to free agency, right? And how we would like to see a change.
Yep.
Maybe this is the first step.
It might be.
This is
because
what I'm saying.
we don't know what
Step
these assistant coaches make.
Step one.
We don't know what these assistant coaches make. And these assistant coaches are not getting their first opportunity for the ones that are coming from college.
Yep.
They're not getting their first opportunity at NFL coaching jobs, I would imagine. I imagine they've had offers before.
Yep.
Maybe the Joneses have opened up the checkbook. Maybe this is their first shot at free agency.
Shoot your shot.
I'm dead serious. Right? Before they can get players, they're getting coaches.
You gotta get coaches to buy in.
Right? And they have to not only buy in to what Shoddy's pitching, but buy in to what the coaches want financially. Because we don't know what these assistant coaches are making. They don't have to disclose that.
Well, one thing that's clear already.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have to disclose that. So the Joneses might be opening up their checkbook and say, hey, Shoddy, go get who you want to get. We'll make sure that we fund it on the back end. This might be the Joneses' first indication of what they're willing to do free agent-wise, because this is the free agency of coaches.
Well, I can tell you right now, and this is not a situation where, like, you know, a coach is coming in and they're trying to retain a certain portion of the playbook. It sounds like this playbook is being
it's being
burned
created
to the ground and recreated completely. And you talk about what the culture might be. It looks as if it is definitively going to be built from the trenches outward.
Yes.
This team is going, when you talk about Derek Foster and Connor Riley and Clayton Adams, and even the scheme that Shoddy said that he's envisioning, this team is looking to bully you and then play off of that to affect the game in the air. So it feels like that's where the culture is going there, and you really have to love it, because like what Josh is saying is poignant. These are guys who are high level in their respective organizations and programs. You leave an Oregon program that was #1 in the nation,
and you leave Phil Knight.
You leave a Kansas State program where you're, for all intents and purposes, you're heralded as one of the best offensive minds in the country. You're comfortable. You're leaving these comfortable high-level positions
to work for a first-time
NFL head coach.
Yep. Yeah.
For the most visible and critically and criticized, scrutinized team, arguably in all of sports. They're buying in. So whatever Schottenheimer is selling, that must smell wonderful.
But what are the two things that have to be true? I have to believe what you're pitching me, right, as the head coach. And then what's the next question I'm going to ask?
What's the pay?
What's the pay?
Yeah.
Right? I'm leaving Phil Knight, who has been the only coach in Oregon, whatever, the collegiate organization, whatever you want to call them now, institution, that said it's a blank check to get these players here for NIL. So if it's a blank check to get the players, it's definitely a blank check for these coaches.
Yep.
Right? So I'm leaving that. What is the Cowboys paying?
But I'll add one more thing. We talk about free agency. This Cowboys, as a current personnel roster, they have 22 looming unrestricted free agents. And you also don't know if they're going to change their free agency approach and what that looks like. So if you're a coach being wooed or being recruited, not only do you have to buy into what the plan is going to be schematically.
Who are you going to have?
Who are you looking Who am I coaching? You have a lot of voids that you need to fill. If I'm Connor Riley,
still here.
If I'm Clayton Adams, and they still said, I'm in.
With that being said, we got to take our second break. When we come back, what are the #1 needs? What do you have to leave this offseason with on offense and one on defense? Needs, not wants, needs. What do you have to have going into training camp here in 2025? More Talking Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talkin Cowboys, this segment is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys, alongside Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez,
Hi.
Isaiah Stanback, with Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. Glad you're with us.
Hi, Kyle.
One really cool thing here, that I really enjoy out of the off-season edition and kind of the way that Derek and the social media team has been kind of, and Chris Beam, more than really anything, has been revamping our podcasts. One thing is that we're now live on YouTube. Every show.
Hello!
And you know what that means.
Hello.
Like and subscribe and follow us on X.
There you go, just like that. But the
Ring that bell.
Part of what's fun about it for me, again, when I first started hosting these podcasts, we were on Periscope. And Periscope had a live chat option. And I would kind of keep up with the chat and kind of walk through it as we go along. Well, we haven't had that opportunity since we weren't live on the live chat. Well, now that we're live on YouTube, we have the live chat option.
Oh, yeah.
And I've just been sitting here reading everybody's comments. It's awesome. I love having the live chat, whether it's a good thing for us or a bad thing for us. It's a good thing for me because I have a lot of fun interacting with fans.
Make sure you ring that bell.
Yeah. Let's see. What's the one?
Ring that bell. I don't know if we can get that song.
Somebody didn't like my shotgun, and they said it was stupid.
I challenge you to drop a bar hotter than that at any point over there because that was sizzling hot.
But that's the thing. If you're watching the show and you haven't checked it out on YouTube, the video version yet, and whether you're watching or listening to the audio-only version, we love you guys. We really do. So now that we get to interact in real time with some of the live viewers, I love it.
Shouts to Rico in Oak Cliff, Maine.
Hey.
Oak Cliff.
Go to the Texas Theater.
Yes, indeed.
And listen to some
shout out to
Rico music, dude.
Do we have it? Oh, man.
He might be gone.
Yeah, he may be getting ready for the next show already.
Shout out to the Cliff, though.
All right. One need, offense and defense. I'm going to give you one on both sides of the ball.
That's such a hard question, man.
Have to have it. One thing overall, you can't kind of halfway do this. You got to say one.
What you guys say?
Have to have it?
Have to have it.
Jeez. You have to have a number 2 receiver.
Okay.
Like Cold Stone Creamer. You got to have it.
I really want a 1B. I really want a 1B. I don't even want a number 2. I want a 1B.
Okay.
And who you got on defense? What you got on defense?
Yeah.
On defense, something that you have to have.
Mm-hmm. In 25.
You have to have interior D lineman. And you can't, I don't want to speak on it, right? But if you can't afford to lose, your D lineman. Yeah. You can't afford to lose O's. So, but even if you have O's, you need to add. You need a dog.
Okay. So the need there would be retain Osa.
Oh, we can do that.
Yeah.
You could. That would be a need.
You could splice it both ways.
Yeah. I don't know what they plan on running system wise, so I would say you need to retain J. Lou.
Okay, see, that's where my need would lie. Yeah. Or need to restructure Micah. That would be the other one. What are you thinking?
Offensively, you definitely need a 1B receiver. But who's your running back?
I think it's
That's why it's only one.
Right, you need.
But this is specifically free agent.
It's Deuce Vaughn. No, it's just off-season
I'm
need
going
in general.
So number one, you need a running back. So even if you can figure out the Deuce Vaughn equation now that Connor Riley's in the building, you still need another running back because he's not going to be your workhorse. He's not going to. That means that your goal is to make him more of that shifty guy. You don't want him doing all the dirty.
Oh, I was joking about.
No, but seriously, Deuce. Finally, and this will please us.
Finally.
There is some justifiable optimism that the Cowboys can figure out the Deuce Vaughn variable. Mike McCarthy couldn't figure it out, but Connor Riley is in the building. And here are some numbers. And I know people say, "Oh,
granted, he's an O-line coach."
Okay, here are some numbers though. When Connor Riley had Deuce Vaughn at Kansas State, Deuce Vaughn produced 4,884 yards from scrimmage and 43 touchdowns. Averaged 109.7 rushing yards per game in his final 2 seasons, and he was also effective as a running back a wide receiver out of the backfield, 9.3 yards per reception in his final 2 seasons with Kansas State. If there's anyone that can unlock Deuce Vaughn, it's Connor Riley. If Deuce Vaughn can't be unlocked with Connor Riley at the NFL level, then we can wash our hands with Deuce Vaughn. Yeah. That being said, even if Deuce Vaughn has a breakout season, you still need that complement. I am still of the belief, and this is without having spoken to Rico, but this is just logically speaking. This is the best leverage that Rico Dowdle has had in his career. He's going to test the market. He's going to Tony Pollard the market. Does that mean he's going to leave? There's a strong chance that he does leave. We'll see if he's willing to stay. But if he stays, don't expect it to be on a team discount. So I'll say that. But whether it's retain Rico or you go and you get a guy like Ashton Genty, now that the pipeline is there and reestablished, you still need to solve for running back. I know people are saying, offensive line. You have personnel already on the offensive line.
That's the need?
Who's running the ball?
If CD rolls his ankle, who are you throwing to?
Do you understand what I'm saying? Who's running the ball?
Anybody can run the ball if your O-line's amazing.
Hopefully never. If CD doesn't.
No, say it.
I genuinely think that.
But do you understand what I'm saying? You're saying if CD gets hurt, who's catching? I'm saying if CD's healthy, he's already set. It doesn't. If health notwithstanding, who's running the ball?
Everybody said that about Rico this year. We found out as long as the O-line's blocking, you're going to get 1,000 yards.
Rico had already shown flashes before.
Yeah, but where was he at on the depth chart though? The year before,
because he was behind. First, he was behind Zeke and Tony, and then he was behind Tony, and then he had injuries. Okay, so fine. What I'm saying is, assuming Rico tests the market and that creates a good likelihood that he leaves, who's running the ball?
Bro, there's
question marks. Malik Davis.
Malik
Davis. Say who's catching
I like
the ball.
Malik Davis.
CD and
Malik Davis was on the practice squad all year, right?
For a reason, and this is not a shot. This is not shade to Malik. Malik showed flashes.
A need?
Yes. Who's running the
over a 1B?
Isaiah. So you're telling me,
or a right guard?
So I want to be clear. So you're telling me that you're confident. You're crazy, man.
Running backs are good. There's a lot of good running backs.
Let me say,
and they are. I'm going to listen.
You want me to say?
Hold on, real quick. How do we gotta go? What justifies? How do you, outside of fumbling?
Come on.
What makes a running back bad?
What makes a running back bad? Lack of
behind a really good offensive line.
Lack of vision. Lack of patience. Lack of anticipation.
Okay.
Yeah, those things. Lack of burst. lack of.
Behind a really good offensive line, you're saying most running backs can't fall for 4?
Fall forward?
Fall for 4. Behind a really good offensive line and a really good offensive scheme,
okay.
You're saying most running backs can't fall for 4 yards?
Okay. So here's my question to you.
False.
Here's my question to you.
They can.
They can.
So that's what I'm saying. Most running backs that come into your camp are capable.
Here's
offensive line, you can't say that. Receivers, you can't say that.
I love you.
Behind the Philly O-line, I guarantee you Royce Freeman would have had 1,000 yards. I mean,
stop that.
Come on, man.
Stop that.
Behind the best O-line in football, you can put
first of all
just about any good running back.
This is not even about overvaluing guys. This is about based upon the science that we saw from the film and things like that. Yes, you have questions on the offensive line, but you also have personnel you can be optimistic about. Brock Hoffman showed you can be optimistic about him. TJ Bass showed you that you can be optimistic about him. From a running back perspective, you don't have anybody on this current roster who will be under contract guaranteed at the time of this conversation that you can say that is the guy who's going to fall forward.
So you're more confident.
4 yards.
You're more confident in the running back depth.
I'm more confident in the personnel on offensive line than I am with the personnel.
Okay, let's not even talk about offensive line. But are you more confident in the depth at running back or more confident in the depth at receiver?
As we have this conversation,
absolutely,
you have more talent and bodies at receiver than you do.
I would agree there.
That running back, come on,
because you don't have bodies at running back.
And this is not me saying that Brooks and Tolbert are going to be Pro Bowlers. This is not me saying that, although we do agree that Kevontae Turpin can be a force if you continue to feed him the ball. But when you start naming names, at least you have names to name in the receiving group behind CeeDee Lamb. Who are you naming that's right now under contract at running back for the Cowboys? You're talking about Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, Hunter Lipke.
Yeah. I'm okay.
You're okay with that?
I really am. With the offensive minds that you're bringing in here, and if you're going to
classify this as a solid offensive line?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But where's the focus been this offseason in terms of coaches?
Listen, running game.
Run game. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So something's going to change.
Yeah, but you're
not going to go into the season with the same guys.
Yeah.
You're going. That's not the hypothetical we're putting out there.
We're saying what is the biggest need?
What is the
I'm
biggest
saying
need?
the running scheme. If anything, right now you can feel doggone good about what the passing game or the running game going into the season with the coaching staff that they put in place.
Well, we're talking personnel.
No. We're talking what personnel that is going to be utilized within the scheme.
Who's running your ball, Isaiah?
I will run the ball. If you have the scheme that's going to move guys off the ball, bro, you need another Derrick Henry? I'm 252 right now. You understand me? Listen,
your knee is not happening.
I'm so serious, bro. Like,
I will run
the O-line. The O-line, the emphasis is on the scheme of the O-line and the coaching and development of the O-line. That has been the focus of Schottenheimer.
And right now,
you
have bodies on the O-line.
We got to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
Let me get mine real quick. Wide receiver 2. That's it.
That's your
2 or 1B?
Wide receiver 2.
You don't have bodies. Who's running your ball?
I love it. I do. And it's split in the chat section, too. I'm watching, and it's like almost every other question. It's running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver. For Patrik "No-C" Walker, for Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Youmans. I think the biggest need is a running back this offseason. We'll see you next week. Talkin Cowboys.
For you Boise State fans.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?